All right, how you going? How you guys doing today? Hi, my name is Tanja, your friendly neighborhood self-defense instructor, and I've been doing a series about how dreams reveal God's purpose for your life. All right, so this is the dream that I'm going to be sharing today. So this was a dream that I had Monday, October 18th, 2021 at 1:48 p.m. Yeah, I put the times in. I just wanted to be as precise about the days and stuff like that as possible. So when I go back to read it, I will know exactly when it was done, what time of day, what day, yada, yada, yada. All right, so I'm just going to read the stream for you. All right, so there are two sets of Hebrews going to battle in a theater. They have two different ideologies, and that's why they are fighting. They both have weapons. It's a serious fight about to happen, and it seems like I'm there, and there are also white people there. About a quarter of the people are scattered throughout the crowd on both sides. Okay. So the whole dream was about a state of readiness. Like at any moment the fight was going to break out. Y'all, this is what I've written down. This is how I'll be right now. So we did have firearms and there was a stage. I remember at one point people were in a line on the stage. I think they were airing grievances or telling why there was this rift between them. Okay. So the two groups was represented by colors. Red and blue, light blue, not the dark Democrat blue. It's like there's nothing wrong with that, but that's what it is. So at one point, I did stand among the crowd in a plea for unity. I was pleading for the people to come together and not be divided, saying that these differences shouldn't keep us apart. So I have a friend, a white guy who is a friend of mine. I don't know why he would be in this dream because we're more like work associates than friends, right? So he was there. So he was on the side that I was on. And in my talk, I said something about how the look at all the white people among us and them understanding our plight and what we had suffered at the hands of the system, right? And he gave me a strange look like I don't agree with that statement. And then I talked to him later to explain more about what black people have gone through, the black experience in America, and he was more receptive to what I was saying, right? So, like I said, there were some sitting around all throughout the dream, but I still felt a fight could break out at any moment. So, after I had gotten up to talk to the people about coming together and not being divided by these ideologies, these black people not to be divided by these ideologies, it seemed to calm down and people just kind of started milling around. Like, remember, we're in a type of theater, right? There's a stage or whatever, whatever. So as the dream continues, so when I had stood up to talk, I thought it was getting through to people, but it did not end the fight that was imminent. Right. Something else that stood out is the fact that the firearm that I had was broken. I kept having to fiddle with it to adjust it to have it to be usable when I would need it. I remember at some point someone had to show me how to use it. I did have understanding of how to use it, and I felt comfortable that when the fight started, I would be equipped. I was also relatively in the front line of the action. Why was I? But I was at the front lines of the action. I was positioned to protect the door. That was my job or my post, and would fire on anyone who came through the door. I had pictured having to deal with people as they tried to advance through the door. I think I did get a functioning weapon at the end of the dream, but no fight broke out during the dream. So I got some possible takeaways or meaning from that dream, and this dream is definitely very significant for me because I resonated with the fact that I was standing up trying to keep the peace, to bring black people together. Because when I say Hebrew, I'm talking about African Americans or black people together, right? So I feel like that's part of what the Most High has revealed to me about what my purpose is: to bring people together, to merge people together in spite of their differences, and really try to be the peacemaker to bring people together. Okay. But some of the other takeaways or meaning that I have for the dream, as I had a weapon that was broken and that I was fiddling with it, trying to get it to work. But at some point, I did get a functioning weapon. That part about my weapon was broken, but I did get a good one at the end. So what I got for that was like pray for good weapons as I continue to move towards what the Most High has for me to do, right? So also was the fact that I was guarding the doorway. And so that was interesting to me. So like kind of guarding the gates. kind of, that's kind of the first line of defense, right? Like if somebody comes, if you're in a secured area and somebody comes to the door and you have to deal with whoever comes to the door, you're the first line of defense. So that stood out as significant to me. And it also stood out to me that it was a mixed crowd, that it wasn't just black people, it was white people as well. And talking to my friend about how, that we would have other people who would understand our plight and understand what we were going through if we took the time maybe to talk to them about it or to explain it. All right. So that's all I have for you for that dream. I don't have titles or anything for my dreams yet. Maybe I will at some point. But the main point of this series is about paying attention to your dreams, journaling your dreams, and then as you get an accumulation, don't forget to go back and look over those things and see, where God was talking to you, how he was shaping your purpose, how he was shaping you in your purpose, and how he gave you hints or clues through your dreams about what he has for you to do, what your purpose is. All right, so next time we'll talk about another dream and continue on this. And so I'll see you next time. I hope you found this informative. I hope it inspires you to, keep track of your dreams and to pay attention to them if you are a person who is still looking for your purpose, still trying to find out what you're meant to do in this life and for the good of your fellow human beings, then I would say give this a try. All right, until next time. All right, bye.